I do on this, what's the opposite of shooting hard? I ask people to shoot softly and say nice things about people in wrestling. So I hope that you don't secretly hate any of these people.
What if I don't have any nice things to say about them?
Well, the first one's AJ Gray.
So I don't have anything nice to say about him.
Come on.
No. AJ is a very entertaining wrestler, and I was very much looking for. He was going to kill me. Let's be honest.
Yes, he was.
Like he was like legit. Like shoot. Like when this pandemic happened, I was like, maybe I made this pandemic happen because I realized that I was going to die. So I subconsciously destroyed the world to prevent myself from being beat the shit out of by AJ Gray.
He struck me during an interview. I mean, like
a
light tap, but still.
but I imagine a light tap by him is still not ideal.
He's a tough guy. Okay, how about a person you've worked with in the past? She's also not been able to make it into the States lately. Riho.
Oh, she is just an angel. I got to travel in Singapore. We did a tour in Singapore together because random life. And we spent a whole day sightseeing in Singapore, and no one could speak anyone's language. And it was just but it was so much fun because it was just a nice little adventure. And she's also just the most amazing wrestler in the world. Tiniest human, most amazing wrestler in the world.
A girl that we have seen on AEW a lot lately that you've worked with, Layla Hirsch.
She is I am so glad that she is getting her what is it, getting her roses? Is that what people say? I don't know what it works.
It works.
But getting her
educate the people, expand their vocabulary. I like it.
Yeah, she's been doing this for so long, and I remember when I got booked against her, which would have been 2019. Yes, because now that makes sense. And I hadn't heard of her because DJ Hyde had just been harboring her in his little thing that he has, his little harboring tree. I don't know. And I was wrestling her, and I was like, how is this girl just not up and down every coast doing everything? And so I'm glad that she's finally getting it all.
A person that we saw you work with a lot, Jordynne Grace. She's made an impact in Impact.
That was good.
It wasn't really
it
at
was
all.
Great.
It wasn't.
I love it.
No.
That's what I live for that. No, I love Jordynne. She's one of my favorite people to wrestle in the world. She's phenomenal. My first match with her, which was at Nova Pro, rest in peace, it was it was just one of my favorite matches that I've ever had, and I've had the chance to wrestle her a bunch of more times because she's come down to Australia a few times. That's not happening anytime soon, but hey, but she's good. No, I love her. I love wrestling her. I think she's hilarious.
I don't like to date my interviews because it usually takes me a couple weeks to get them out. But we saw Melina on Raw this past week. You wrestled her once upon a time.
I did. Okay, so the first time that Melina, well, it probably wasn't the first time she came to Australia. She definitely came to Australia when she was with WWE. Yeah. But she came to Australia in 2018, and we were supposed to wrestle twice. There was we were supposed to wrestle in the main event of this one random show, and then also this triple threat in this other random show because wrestling's random. And we were supposed to wrestle twice, and then she did her knee or whatever. And so she still came, and we did a Mike Spotty stuff or whatever. I don't know. I was like, you're an old washed up has-been, blah, blah, blah. I'm the future, blah, gibberish crap. It is what it is. And that's when I first met her, and she's just the nicest, the sweetest person in the world. And it was really cool for me because Melina was such a I started watching wrestling in 2004. So Melina, the Mickie James, that era of WWE girls are what I watched. So meeting, and I used to go to WWE shows dressed as Melina. I used to wear a short skirt with my fluffy fucking boots, and then I'd wear a wrestling shirt. It wouldn't necessarily be an M&M shirt, but it would be something. Because I'd be yeah, look at me, I'm the hot girl that goes to wrestling shows. I wasn't, but I thought I was. But it is. But yeah, and so then a year later, she came back to Australia and we finally got to wrestle, and it was the coolest thing ever. It was just like, I mean, like, you never get to wrestle people that you genuinely idolized as a child, like, especially as a female. Like, guys, I think, get to wrestle people that they genuinely idolized a bit more often. Not often, but like, it's a bit more common because like the guys that were on TV continue to wrestle for a while, whereas the girls that were on TV, they don't really like. No. They're like they're out. Like they're like bye. Like, oh, wrestling's fucked. Bye. So to get to wrestle someone that I genuinely looked up to was it's fucking cool, man.
That's why I thought Serena was such an anomaly last year, even though she wasn't like on TV or anything. She quit or she stopped wrestling so early that she stopped for 5 years, and they're like, oh wait, she's still young enough to have like this full-on run, and she's doing really great.
Oh my god, like when they announced her match with Thunder, like the first one, I was like, because like I've known Serena, like I've worked bloody whatchamacallit, Shimmer, like with her, like after her WWE run, but before her like mini retirement, whatever. Yeah. Like I knew her like a little bit, and like, you know, it's like she knew when the last time I did NXT, she was there as a trainer, and she remembered me. I was like, oh my god, she remembers me. Like, she's Serena Deeb. Like, because to me, she's like Serena fucking Deeb. Like, it's just, and then she's just freaking on top of the world again. I'm sorry that I swear so much and use so many like filler words. It just is what it is.
I'm all for it. How about a name as we wrap up this segment that some American fans might not know, but those familiar with your career will? Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, so Alice in Wonderland, who's now Harley Wonderland. Yeah. She started training, I think, 3 months before me. And so then I had my first match with her, and I don't think did she wrestle last year? I think she wrestled like maybe at the start of last year, but like, I don't know, it doesn't really, like, last year was I was like, I don't know, does she still wrestle? But nobody still wrestles at the moment. So I don't really know. And I think she was still, but like, she's been with me like my whole career. She lives about 2.5 hours away from me. So, but like for 10, 13, 12 years, whatever it is, I don't know, too many years. Like, I've pretty much seen her on a, you know, bi-monthly at least basis for, you know, all of it. Like, she was at my wedding. She was at my like 21st birthday. I think she was at my she wouldn't have been at my 18th. Was she at my? No, I was over 18 when I started training. She was not at my 18th. I didn't have an 18th. I was a loser. I was into wrestling when I was 18, and I wasn't yet a wrestler, so I was just a loser.
Wrestling. I had an 18th
like, it's not
birthday
cool,
party.
man. It's not cool when you're like a girl and you're like I was real cool like at the start of high school, and then like I decided I liked wrestling when I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And then I dropped out of high school and was like, I just like wrestling now. That's my only like.
People used to give me shit about it all the time, and now that they know that I'm pulling a salary and I got a contract for it, they're like, "Oh man, that's so cool. We always knew you'd be doing this." I'm like, "No, you didn't. I haven't talked to you since high school. Get out of here."
Yeah, no, I haven't talked to anyone that I went to high school with in probably a decade, but I still have like them on Facebook and stuff, and like every now and then I'll post something wrestling, and they'll be like, "Whoa, you really did it!" And